Hello, hi VC, this is Bev at Clarko Vision. This is just going to be an update video. I wanted to get this out of the way and also mention the Kursk giveaway that we're approaching the halfway point for that. But I have received a couple of items in the mail, and for the first time in months I decided to venture out to a record shop, and it's one I'd never been to before either. I had recently discovered one in a place called Dunbar, which is on the east coast of Scotland. It's just about, I don't know, 20 miles east or something like that. Probably less than that even. It's maybe 20 minutes, half an hour's drive away from here. And they've got a record shop there called the Green Cat Record Shop. It's a really nice wee shop. And basically it was a case of a combination of let's just get away for a wee drive somewhere, not too far, but get a change of scenery. I took the dog, so she got a walk while I was in the record shop. And I came across quite a few interesting items. There was one which I was slightly annoyed at. I was contemplating buying, and I hummed and hawed. I put it back, I thought I'll go back to it. And of course, by the time I'd finished, I'd forgotten to go back. But it's not a huge, big deal. If it's there when I go back at some point, although I don't intend to go back too soon because it's kind of a little bit further out the way. But it's a place I would go back to. So, pardon me, I've just had my dinner and I thought, well, I'm in the mood to get this out of the way just now. So I picked up 2 items for the record shop, and I got a delivery from somewhere online. So it consists of 4 vinyl to show and a CD box set that was on sale, and the price was too good to sort of reduce. So I'll just go on and show. So from the record shop, the Green Cat Record Shop, the first one I picked up, I've heard this band getting kind of high praises sung in the past, and I've only ever known their famous hit song, Eye of the Tiger, through the Rocky film and all that. So you'll know it's Survivor, and I came across their album Vital Signs, and as I say, I've heard a few other people talk about how their albums in general are pretty decent. So this is obviously AOR, melodic rock or soft rock, and it looks like it's an original press on Scotty Brothers record label, which was part of CBS at the time, 1984. And I'm looking at the track listing and I'm thinking that I am not familiar with any of the songs on here. So I thought it was a really decent price. I didn't pay a lot for it, and it's in nice condition. It has the original inner with lyrics, etc. on here. So I thought, well, I'll just pick it up, give it a listen and see what it's like. And the record's in nice condition as well. There's a few hairline scuffs, but nothing that causes any problems. And there is the Scotty Brothers label. You can see it there. So yeah, it's and I quite enjoyed it. As I say, I wasn't too familiar, but there's some really catchy, enjoyable tunes on here. Sounds good. So I was quite happy to have this, and as I get more familiar with it as well, I'm sure it'll grow on me all the more. But I wasn't disappointed to have bought it. So the other one I came across from the Green Cat was a 12-inch single, which I'd never come across like this before. I thought that just looks really cool. I like the song, like the album, and then it's Skid Row. And what it is, it's a 12-inch single of Slave to the Grind, and it's backed with Creep Show and Beggar's Day, which apparently is a previously unreleased track. Whether it came out on a later album, because I've never had anything beyond Slave to the Grind for this band. I don't know. But it's a limited 12-inch single in rubberized sleeves. So this is a kind of plasticky, rubbery outer cover. And it's got the barcode sticker here as well. And so inside here you just have the regular 12-inch, and there it is. Skid Row, Slave to the Grind. Side 1, Slave to the Grind. Side 2, Creep Show, and as I say, Beggar's Day. And it says new studio track, previously unreleased. So I don't know if anyone else has heard of Beggar's Day before, or if they know if it ended up on an album later down the line. And again, this is in really nice condition. Of course, it's on Atlantic, who they signed to at the time. So yeah, I just thought this would be quite a novel thing to have. You know, I don't go out my way to buy 12-inch singles, but I thought it was just kind of unusual with this extra outer covering, you know. So that was that. And so that was the two I bought for the shop, and yeah, it's quite a nice wee shop. The guy was nice and friendly. There's a limit to 2 people in the shop at one time at the moment, you know, with all this COVID nonsense, which is fair enough. And onto the online order, again, I got 2 records from there, and the first one is actually an online place in France. Came from, I think it was Marseille that it came from, in France. And the first one I picked up was Tokyo Blade's new record. This is a 2020 release. It's not long out, just, I don't know, a few weeks ago maybe. And the reason I went to this French website is because they were selling it at about £8 cheaper than Amazon. So, and I thought, well, since I'm getting something else, I'll just put this in with it. Now, Dark Revolution, it's a good album. I quite enjoy it. Again, Tokyo Blade, there is a couple of the original Tokyo Blade guys there, Andy Boulton being one of them. I can't remember the other boy. Hang on, it's probably here. Yeah, Alan Marsh and Andy Boulton, I think, were 2 of the originals, but in fact, I'm not sure. Steve Pearce, I'm sure he's original as well. John Wiggins, Andy Wrighton. I'm not 100% sure if they were original members or not, but so this is on Back on Black Records, and it's a gatefold sleeve, and this kind of the Fist with the Flames, that's kind of similar to the Bonfire's new album cover, Fistful of Fire. Obviously it's only surrounded in the flames there. You've got it wrapped in chains around the wrist here. And it's a single LP, and if you look at the track list in there, you'll see it's tracks 1 through 11. There's no side A, no side B. So this is purely, I think they've taken the vinyl record cover and pressed the CD layout onto the vinyl, basically. Probably laziness on their part. And on the inside you get the lyrics to all 11 tracks as well. However, the last 3 songs are actually not on this record. While they're listed, they're not on it. You only get the first 8, so you're missing The Lights of Soho, Not Lay Down and Die, and Voices of the Damned. So I'm assuming they're on the CD, obviously. But what I did notice later is I believe they are releasing a double vinyl, a double LP version of this. It's coming out in September or October, so they must be pressing it on, you know, as a double LP to get the extra tracks on it, which is kind of slightly annoying, because if I'd have known that before I'd ordered it, or if I'd have realised that, I might have waited, or I might have just got the CD. But as it happens, I have the records. I may grab the CD at a later point if I find it cheap. It's cheaper priced somewhere down the line. But overall, it's a good album. They released an album a couple of years back. What was it called? Unbroken or something like that. I have the CD of that one, and that was a really good album. I would probably say this one, I mean, I've only had a couple of listens, so maybe just not quite as strong as the previous one, but it's still pretty good. I would definitely recommend you checking it out if you're into kind of the new wave of British heavy metal type stuff. So that's that one. And the other record I got, which I just had to grab, because I've been looking around trying to get the best prices on some of the Avantasia ones, and this place happened to have this one at a cheaper price than I'd seen anywhere else, so I decided to pull the trigger on it. And I realised as well it's a limited edition light blue vinyl, limited to 100 units. And when I went to stick it on Discogs in my collection, I realised that the light blue is exclusive to France, which might explain why it was in France in the first place. So I've actually got the French version here, and it's the Metal Opera Part 2 Platinum Edition, which means it's a reissue. I think it's a 2000 and... let me see the notes here. So this was originally released in October 2002, it tells you inside, and this, you've got new notes from Tobias Sammet talking about the tracks in 2008, so I'm thinking that this was a 2008 release for the Platinum Edition. So yeah, again, this is great. I don't have part 1 yet. I'm obviously not really going out my way to get them in order, but I do want to get them all at some point. So part 2 here, and it's really wonderful. You've got loads of classic names. You've got Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen on here. Kai Hansen actually does vocals on here. I don't know if he does any guitar. Now he's just down as the vocalist on the back here. But yeah, you've got Oliver Hartman, he does the vocals on here as well, whether he's done guitar on later ones. Bob Cartley. You've got Eric Singer, who does drums on this one. Just a plethora of talent again. So yeah, I was super thrilled to get this. Kind of just chuffed as well to know that it's kind of like a French pressing, to be honest, as well, rather than kind of the usual sort of standard European issue. You do get an inner sheet for the lyrics. It's just purely lyrics. And oops, that's that right at the side. Both the vinyl are the same, so I'll just show you one of them, but that is the nice light blue. It says light blue clear, but it's certainly not clear, that's for sure, unless they mean a clear sky blue. But so yeah, that's what the record looks like, so I'm delighted to get that. Now the last thing I got, and I just wanted to kind of, as well as showing it, I just wanted to chat or talk about it a little bit as well. Just put this back. The CD I got, which was on sale for a terrific price. Well, it's actually a CD box set, to be honest with you. Again, it's another famous, held in high esteem or high regard album, if you like. Although this is the Reidolized version. This is W.A.S.P, and it's the soundtrack to the Crimson Idol. The Reidolized version, and this is actually the limited edition box set, which happens to contain the the 2 CDs. It's a double CD set, and it's also got the Blu-ray and the standard DVD of the kind of movie part of it. So yeah, it comes in your slipcase and opens out into quite a large, there's the booklets in here, CD1, CD2, and then we have the DVD and the Blu-ray, so that's pretty cool, I thought. And this was going €8. So I was like, whoa, that's just too good, because I would normally something like this would probably be about €20, I would guess, if it was just a new release thing. So, you know, because I'm sort of checking out W.A.S.P, I'm late to W.A.S.P, and I thought people had talked about this one, and I knew it was like a kind of a concept album. It was a story about this rock star, Johnny, I believe. And interestingly enough, when you open it up, I'll get this right, Jonathan's story here starts there, and it kind of goes over the page that way, I believe. So that's kind of Jonathan's story from his own point of view. And so and when I think back, when I listened to it, I thought, there's about one song here, maybe two. Definitely one song I recall hearing before, and that was Chainsaw Charlie. Now, I think that was released as a single, and I think it must have hit the UK chart at some point, because I did recognise that when it came on. So yeah, it's a good song. Chainsaw Charlie, Murders in the New Morgue. But I put the whole thing on because I'd never heard the whole thing before, and I'm aware this has been re-recorded. So because I've never listened to the original Crimson Idol before, I can't compare whether this is better or worse, or how good it is, or how different it is in places, or whatever. I can't do that. I can only go on what I've heard from this one. And yeah, so I put the whole thing on, and I've listened to it twice, and I listened to it again today, and this is why I just wanted to talk about this briefly while it was still fresh. It's very, although it's a fictional story about this fictional character and everything, it is extremely melancholy. What a sad story, you know, what a sad tale it is about this poor boy who he just felt unloved and unwanted, and of course went down the off the rails kind of path, and ended up becoming this huge rock star with his success and the fame that comes with it. But he still never found his happiness, and in the end he ended up taking his life. Really dark and really sad, and I've noticed that a lot of the songs are very sad when you listen to them, obviously because of the lyrics. And if I'm honest, it even made me think in certain points about Steve Clark, because he was, I believe, he was kind of unhappy. He suffered depression and other things, and he had some kind of past personal issues, which has never actually really been publicly talked about before, but over time things have, you know, people have surmised and drawn conclusions and all that kind of stuff. So while not knowing the exact details on Steve, I am aware he didn't have the easiest of upbringings himself, I believe. And this kind of, you know, and I know that Steve was kind of unhappy. You know, he was the famous rock star that had everything at the end of the late 80s, and yet he was one of the unhappiest people in the world, kind of thing. And that's the kind of part that kind of made me draw the comparison in with this story here. And I thought, oh God, you know, and it tugged at my heartstrings a bit, because that's what music does, obviously, you know. So while I found the sadness part of it, I also thought that there was some really nice lead guitar parts in some of the songs. Some of the guitar solos I thought were just really stunning, excellently played guitar pieces that just complemented the song really well, and the tone of the guitars. So yeah, I liked all that. So, you know, I'm pleased to have now kind of learned the story about this album and what it's all about. However, I don't think it's something that I'll find myself drawn to very often, for the reasons I've just mentioned, because it kind of is, as I say, it's sad, and it just makes me reflect on sad memories of a certain someone else, which is not really what I want when I go to listen to my music, I have to confess. But yeah, so, and I know many other people have said what a great album this is. I don't think it's everybody's best or favourite W.A.S.P albums, but I have heard lots of good things from people about it. And what you think of the original compared to this, you can put in the comments below if you so desire, or talk about it in some future video. But yeah, very good, and I think Blackie Lawless himself has obviously taken a lot of thought into putting this piece together. I don't know if this is the only album he's done kind of in a whole storyline like this, or if there's other ones. And I was also wondering myself about Blackie. I know he converted to Christianity some years back now, and that's partly, I think, I don't know for sure, but I don't know if that's partly the reason why you re-recorded this as well, because I know that some of the lyrics were a bit more kind of offensive, if you like, and he's kind of cleaned them up a little bit. So I don't know if that was a factor in the re-recording, or if it was just down to the rights by the previous record label or whatever. But Blackie himself, I don't know if this relates to anything that he's experienced in his own life. I really don't know. I guess the good thing about him is he's around and alive, and through his new discovered faith, I'm hoping he's found a bit of contentment and happiness and peace that it kind of brings, you know, to people, or it can bring to people. So, if anybody's got any comments or info they can enlighten me to on my further education of this, please feel free. But yeah, I was, you know, for €8, I thought, you know, I've still to watch the video part of it, so I don't know what that's like. But to get this set for €8, I thought I can't pass that up. I can't ignore it. And overall, I think some of the songs are really good. But I would say I was possibly slightly underwhelmed by it, possibly because of the sort of sadness that seems to be attached with it. I don't know whether I keep this in the long term or not. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but for now it will stay in my collection, and I'll see how I get on with it. But as I say, I don't think I'll be pulling it out too often. But yeah, so there you go. And that is it from an update. The last thing I want to say is get in with the... oh, I think my video just jammed there. Get yourself in with the... In fact, hang on a second. It's still playing. I just thought my computer was about to shut down on me there because everything went blank on the desktop round about me. Anyway, last but not least, I have a contest giveaway running to win this album, this very album from UK band Kursk, traditional heavy metal style, dark, moody, traditional, solid guitars, etc. I will leave a link to that particular contest video below so you can see what to do. The entry date closes on the 16th of August, that's your last day. Please get an entry in just to support the band, and if you're picked out the hat, you win this CD. I will send it out to you. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all in another video. Bye just now.